Alright, so you think you know Westeros? I want you to think again. Let's forget the massive wars, the dragons fighting in the sky, all of that, just for a minute. Today, we're going to hit the road, the really dusty, muddy roads, and follow the ground-level adventures of two of the most unlikely heroes you'll ever meet. A hedge knight named Dunk and its squire, Egg.
First things first, let's get our bearings. Where, or rather, when, are we? Well, the story of Dunk and Egg is set in this really crucial and honestly often overlooked period. We're talking about 90 years before Game of Thrones. It's this fascinating little interlude, kind of sandwiched right between the fiery Targaryen civil war from House of the Dragon and the War of the Five Kings that we all know so well.
And because of when it's set, this era gives us a totally different feel for the Seven Kingdoms. It's a world that, it feels familiar, but it's also refreshingly new. The huge, epic conflicts have died down for a bit, but believe me, the realm is a long way from being peaceful.
Now, what really makes this story stand out is the change in scale. We're zooming way in. So instead of these sprawling wars for the Iron Throne or those continent-shaking family feuds with dragons, we get these small-scale conflicts. The high drama of a local tourney and a really rare, kind of intimate look at what life was actually like for the common folk.
I love this description from the source material. It calls the story a road trip-style epic, and that's exactly what it is. The whole narrative isn't about conquering kingdoms, it's really about just surviving the journey, getting from one town to the next through this huge, often hostile landscape of Westeros, and we see it all through our heroes' eyes.
So let's get to the heart of it all, our two main guys. Seriously, their dynamic is what makes this entire journey so compelling.
First up, you've got Sir Duncan the Tall, or, everyone just calls him Dunk. And when they say tall, they mean it. The guy is huge. He comes from the absolute gutters of Flea Bottom, and he's basically armed with nothing more than some secondhand armor, a really strong moral compass, and this powerful, maybe a little naive dream of becoming a true knight.
And then there's his squire, Egg. Now this kid, he's clever, he's sharp, and he's got this shaved head, but he is way more than he seems, because Egg is hiding a massive secret. He's actually Aegon Targaryen, a prince, fourth son of Prince Maker, part of the ruling dynasty. Yeah, big deal.
So Dunk calls himself a knight, but what does that actually mean in this day and age? Let me tell you, it is nowhere near as glamorous as you might be picturing.
See, Dunk is what's called a hedge knight, and the name pretty much says it all. These guys literally slept under hedges. He's a freelancer in a world built on feudal loyalty. He has no land, no lord to serve, so he just wanders town to town looking for a job. It's a universe away from the noble knights of Winterfell or Casterly Rock.
And the world they're traveling through? It is an absolute tinderbox. The Targaryen dynasty is still in power, sure, but it's a fractured, paranoid rule. The memory of recent rebellions is still fresh, so there's this constant instability and suspicion everywhere. This means every town, every castle, every inn, they all hold a potential threat. It's an incredibly dangerous world for a lone knight, let alone one traveling with a secret prince. And this very specific setting, this whole setup, lets the story go way beyond a simple adventure. It gets to explore some really deep, timeless ideas about honor, duty, and, well, the whole structure of society itself.
At its core, the story keeps asking this question: what truly makes a knight? Is it your bloodline, your title, or is it your actions? Through this incredible, unlikely friendship between Dunk and Egg, we get to see the huge gap between class and nobility, what real loyalty looks like, and what the code of chivalry is even worth when it feels like honor is in really short supply.
But hey, don't get me wrong, this isn't just some small, quiet character study. This story has massive, and I mean massive, implications for the entire future of the Seven Kingdoms and the Targaryen dynasty. And this is why this story is so important. This period might seem quiet on the surface, but underneath it all, the seeds of the Targaryen downfall are being planted. The political rot, the arrogance of the High Lords, the friendships that are being forged out on these dusty roads, all of it is going to have consequences that echo through history, leading directly to the massive wars we know are just over the horizon.
Which, it leaves us with the central question of the whole story, a question that's perfectly wrapped up in Dunk's journey.
In a world that is just defined by power, by broken vows, and cynical political games, can one good man, a hedge knight from Flea Bottom with nothing to his name, can he actually make a difference? What do you think? I'd really love to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.